Hey guys, YouTuber Minute here. Okay, and as I said before, I told you guys that with the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally going on right now, I said that in honor of that I would be making a retro review for one of those WCW Hog Wild or Road Wild events. And so yeah, this is going to be that review, and this is going to be a review for WCW's Hog Wild 1996. So yeah, so if you saw the video that I did last year, where I was like counting down what I thought the 10 strangest wrestling venues were, yeah, I did like a place of these events at number one because, yeah, I just feel that these were just like really, really odd to take place at just in a, just like, just in front of like a bunch of bikers, and especially like in the, where this was like emanating from. Yeah, this was just like on some sort of like some like just random spot in the dirt, and yeah, you just like had like a bunch of bikers just like surrounding the area, just like pulling up and watching the show. And like I said before, like the way that this event came about was because, yeah, Eric Bischoff was a fan of motorcycles, so he just used this as an excuse for him to go to the Sturgis motorcycle rally, and yeah, he came up with the idea of having like this pay per view. So yeah, and yeah, then like I said, this wasn't really like in front of like wrestling fans; it was just a bunch of hikers that were like in town for the motorcycle rally. Yeah, and yeah, these events yeah, they yeah, these really didn't have any like paid attendances. Yeah, it was just like bikers that were like parking up and just watching the show for free. And yeah, so yeah, I don't really think that WCW really did like make any money off of these events, like for like the live crowds or anything. Yeah, I think like all the money that came from these events were like the people that like ordered these events on pay per view. Yeah. So the so just like these shows like just taking place like in front of like these bikers like this, just like at the Surge Motorcycle Rally, instead of like being like inside like a traditional arena. Yeah, I just found it to be very, very strange, and I do feel like these are the strange. Just these events do have like the strangest venues in wrestling of all time. Yeah. But as far as like the actual like quality of the show goes, with this show, yeah, I decided to review this one because, yeah, this is like regarded by many to really be the best of these Hog Wild or Road Wild shows. Yeah, because yeah, the other of three events, yeah, because yeah, the WCW did have these like up until 1999, and the following three events, yeah, those like really didn't receive that great receptions. Yeah, they were like looked at to be pretty mediocre, and 1999 was looked at to be a pretty bad one. Yeah, because yeah, just like yeah, because yeah, a lot of it does like come like well, yeah, part of it really does come from the the bikers, because yeah, the bikers at these events, like, they were just like really like drunk lunatics, and yeah, not really like necessarily wrestling fans. So yeah, and yeah, throughout these shows, like the bikers would like always be like revving up their bikes and stuff. Yeah, so you could like constantly like hear the vroom, vroom throughout the uh, events, and yeah, they were also like sounding off like their horns and stuff. So yeah, and plus yeah, crowds were like really bad. Also, they were just like booing for like a bunch of stupid reasons and stuff. Yeah, and yeah, with this show in particular, that is like really the case. Yeah, if you saw the video that I did last year, like I did talk about that, and I will talk about it again in this video. Uh-huh. Also, yeah, but yeah, as far as like the show quality of this one goes, well, yeah, the like overall, like the show itself, like the quality of like the matches and stuff, yeah, it is a overall a pretty great show. I mean, yeah, of course, like this was just like a month removed from like the formation of the NWO at the Bash at the Beach. So yeah, this was like the first official WCW pay per view with the NWO. Oh yeah, and and yeah, then this show just really just shows like how like much like the WCW was really like overtaking the WWF, and just like how dominant the WCW really was at the time. Because of course, like after like the formation of the NWO, that's really when like WCW's numbers really did start to take off, and they were like really like reigning in the ratings over the WWF. And yeah, and this was overall a pretty great show. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not a perfect show. Like, yeah, the show really does kind of like have like it's like quite a few matches that really are not very good. But yeah, the show overall, like, it does have like two great matches and one match that is like overall a really good one. And yeah, and even like it does have like some other ones that are still like enjoyable enough. Yeah, I mean, it does have a few matches that really are really not that very good, but I mean, but yeah, it does really have enough good to really like call a really good show. When yeah, possibly even a great show. So yeah, the good stuff does definitely like triumph over the bad stuff. Like the good does outdo the bad on the show. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, just like with it taking place in front of like a bunch of bikers rather than wrestling fans, yeah, with like the bikers like all constantly like revving up their motorcycles and just like acting kind of stupid throughout the show. Like that can get kind of annoying, and that may kind of like ruin your yeah. That could kind of like damage like your uh experience of like watching the show, or yeah, it can kind of like take away some of your enjoyment because that could kind of get annoying. But yeah, if you can actually like put up with that stuff, you can like get past like how stupid the bikers can be. Yeah, points in during the show. Like if you can like get past that and really just like focus on like the quality of the show itself, yeah, you will probably get like quite a lot of enjoyment out of it, because yeah, there is still like a lot of good stuff on the show. And yeah, like I said, it really is just like a reflection of just like how the WCW really was like really becoming so dominant over the WWF at the time. And so yeah, and also like I found it kind of strange because yeah, like I said, this show was like just like on like dirt, like just a portion of like the dirt, or or, or yeah, and yeah, and they had the ring like set up on some kind of pedestal. Oh, well, yeah, yeah, and there were times like, especially like in the first match, where like they actually like did go off the pedestal and down into the dirt and stuff. So yeah, I found that kind of interesting. Yeah, and like I said before, like when I did that video last year, just where exactly were the wrestlers like going for, you know, like when they were like backstage, like supposedly in the locker room? Because yeah, they were just like on dirt, like they weren't in an arena. So yeah, where were they going like when they were not like competing in the ring? So yeah, that is something I have always questioned. Yeah, and yeah, plus yeah, they were really like going in style for this, because yeah, for the show like you had like the TV personnel, like you with the commentators, Tony Schiavone, Dusty Rhodes, and Bobby Heenan. They were like dressed like, rather than like the traditional like tuxedos that they would normally wear, they were like kind of like dressed more in like motor biker style. And the same thing with Mean Gene when he would like interview some of the wrestlers on the show. So yeah, it kind of was interesting that they really did like go all out for this as well. Yeah. So like I said, I mean, in like the biker crowd can get kind of annoying throughout the show. And yeah, and not everything about the show is good, but yeah, like I said, there is really enough good on here to really recommend and to really say this is a good show. And yeah, and some would even say it's a great show because of like how good the good stuff really is. So yeah, so overall, I do say that this was a pretty great show overall. So yeah, okay, so I'm already like 9 minutes in, so yeah, let me just talk about the card. All right. So, yeah. So, for the first match on the show, we had the Cruiserweight Championship on the line. It was Rey Mysterio Jr. defending against Ultimo Dragon. Though, yeah, on this show, like, Ultimo Dragon was really billed as Ultimate Dragon rather than Ultimo Dragon. Yeah. But, yeah. But yeah, and this was just a really awesome match right here. I mean, yeah, this is just a pure example of just like how great the cruiserweight division in the WCW really was. I mean, I've talked about it before, just like how great like the WCW cruiserweight division really was. Yeah, I mean the cruiserweight division really was just like one of the best things about WCW, and yeah, and Rey Mysterio was just in the WCW for like 2 months up to this point, and yeah, he was already like so over. Like, yeah, the WCW really just like really did a great job of just like making Rey Mysterio just like so over really quickly. Like, yeah, that feud that he had with Malenko really did like make him like a true fan favorite with the crowds. Yeah, yeah, and Ultimo Dragon, yeah, he was like really awesome too. Like, Rey Mysterio and Ultimo Dragon really were like two of my favorite cruiserweights in the WCW. Like, they just really were just like so awesome, and yeah, and they really did work really great together. And yeah, this match just shows it. Like, yeah, you had like a lot of like high flying technical moves in the match. Yeah, it was just like some really good back and forth action. I did like at one point how Rey Mysterio like was trying to go for like a little West Coast pop onto Ultimo Dragon, but Ultimo Dragon was able to drop kick Rey Mysterio. Yeah, and there were like a lot of near falls in the match as well. And then at one point, like Rey Mysterio, like when Ultimo Dragon was on the outside of the ring, but still standing on that pedestal, Rey Mysterio like knocked Ultimo Dragon down to the dirt, and then Rey Mysterio then just like flew right over the top rope down to the dirt onto Ultimo Dragon. So yeah, that was a pretty cool spot, seeing that they went all the way down to the dirt for this. Yeah. And it was just like some really great back and forth action between the two of them, and I thought the ending was kind of funny, where like you had Ultimo Dragon up on a turnbuckle, and then Rey Mysterio then tried to go for like a Hurricane Rana onto Ultimo Dragon getting down, but yeah, he failed to do it, and then he just did it again, and then he succeeded that time, and then he was able to pin Ultimo Dragon and get the win. So yeah, Rey Mysterio retained the Cruiserweight Championship. So yeah, this match was just like so awesome and a great way to start off the show. And yeah, like I said, this was just like another example of just like how awesome the cruiserweight division in WCW really was. So yeah, a great way to start off the show. I give that match 4 stars. Yeah, and then the next two matches is like what I kind of like what I was talking about. That was like stuff on the show that really was not so good. Yeah, the next two matches really were like kind of a very like forgettable matches that really seemed to be like kind of a filler on the show, and just really like forgettable matches. Yeah. Next up, then you had Scott Norton versus Ice Train, and yeah, this match was just like kind of, they were just kind of like the filler on the show. Yeah, and it really was not anything too spectacular. I mean, yeah, it was just kind of like substandard action between the two of them. I really don't remember or like this match really at all. Yeah, and and it lasted like 5 minutes, and then yeah, Scott Norton ended up getting the win somehow. So yeah, so yeah, a very forgettable match, and yeah, like I said, just seemed to be like kind of just filler for the show. So yeah, so I would probably give that like a 1.5 stars. Yeah, yeah. And then next up, then we got another one with Bull Nakano versus Madusa, and yeah, and in this match, like they both like came out on motorcycles. Yeah, though yeah, technically it was like a Sonny Onu, Bull Nakano's manager, that was on the motorcycle, and and Madusa also came out on her own motorcycle as well. Yeah, and yeah, this was another one that really was just like kind of it was just kind of like very substandard. I mean, of course, like Madusa was also Alundra Blaze in the WWF. Yeah, and and really just yeah, this really wasn't good, especially when you compare it to like the matches they had in the WWF, like their match at SummerSlam 1994, which was really good, and yeah, and this really was not on par with that match at all. I mean, it was another match that really just lasted like 5 minutes, and yeah, and once again, it was just like really really forgettable. All and yeah, and just yeah, nothing really happened here, and then yeah, but yeah, then we got an ending that was really pretty stupid. I mean, it was in the same style that like that match at WrestleMania 4 between Ultimate Warrior and Hercules was, where like a Bull Nakano had Madusa in like a bridge pin, like went for a German suplex and got like Madusa in a bridge pin, and the referee was making the count 1, 2, and then Madusa got like the shoulder up, and then the ref then counted to 3, and then and there was a little bit of confusion right here because at first like it seemed like maybe the referee had like made a mistake by like counting to 3 when Madusa had kicked out, and then after that happened, like a Sonny Uno then and like took a sledgehammer to Madusa's motorcycle. Though he only hit the seat, and then Madusa then just ended up like snapping, and then suddenly the bell then rang, and then Madusa then went after Nakano and Sonny Uno, and then took a sledgehammer to Sonny Uno's bike, and smashed that up, and then Madusa was declared the winner. So there was a little bit of confusion whether or not like it just stopped, or if not Madusa, Bull Nakano was disqualified, or what happened. And then they just said that like Bull Nakano's shoulders were still down when Madusa kicked out. So that was just like real stupid, and just caused some confusion and stuff. So it still like was not really good. So I don't know. I give that probably like 1 star. So so like I said, with those like last 2 matches, like they, it was kind of like did like take the show a little bit off course. But then with the next match, this is where like the show really does like get back on track. Next up, we get like easily the match of the night, and such a great match here. Next up, then we had Dean Malenko versus Chris Benoit, and this match was freaking phenomenal right here. I mean, this is just like shows like just how great technical wrestlers like both Chris Benoit and Dean Malenko were. And I just really find it so unfortunate just like how overlooked Dean Malenko could really be. Like, people have said that Dean Malenko really did not get the credit that he deserved, and it's true, he didn't. I mean, they didn't call Dean Malenko the man of 1,000 holds for nothing. But this match was just like absolutely phenomenal. Just great technical wrestling between both guys. And there were a lot of like near falls and like roll ups in the match. A lot of high flying spots in the match. Just great technical wrestling between both guys in the match, though. But this match was really like an example of just like how bad the biker crowd really was for this match. Well, really was for the show, because this match was just like a pure example of this, because this match really was not full of like diehard wrestling fans. So the crowd just like really was like pretty dead for this match. And plus towards the end of the match, like the crowd was starting to boo it, which was like really freaking stupid. But because there was nothing for the crowd to boo about, because this match was freaking great. Like, just those bikers were just absolute idiots to boo this classic right here. But this was really great. Like, at one point, Chris Benoit like countered the Texas Cloverleaf into like a roll up, but Dean Malenko was able to kick out from it. And there were like a lot of like bridge pin attempts in the match. Just like some really freaking phenomenal back and forth action between the two of them. Though something that I did find like kind of like a dumb about this match was like on like a 20-minute time limit or something, and then the 20 minutes ended up like expiring. But then then the referee then decided that the match had to go into like a 5-minute overtime period, and then like that expired as well. So they went to another. Like, why are you going into freaking like overtime period for this match? Like, if this match like goes over the time limit, just have it be like sudden death. Don't have freaking periods. Just have it go sudden death till you do have a winner. I mean, what idiot came up with this kind of crap? Like this is not the freaking NFL or the NBA or something. And like, don't have periods. Just go freaking sudden death. So whoever did that is just freaking stupid. But anyway, and then like I said, like after like that first overtime period ended up expiring too. The crowds were then like starting to boo that, because they were just like we're not into the match because they're freaking stupid. But then after like a Dean Malenko then like got Chris Benoit in a Texas Cloverleaf, then like Chris Benoit like had a Miss Elizabeth and women, which was also like his wife Nancy, in his corner. And then woman then was trying to help Chris Benoit get out of it, and then Dean Malenko ended up turning the Texas Cloverleaf into an STF. And then as Dean Malenko tried to go after women, then Chris Benoit then just ended up rolling up Dean Malenko and pinning him, and Chris Benoit ended up getting the win. But yeah, this match was just absolutely freaking phenomenal right here. This is easily the match of the night, and really one of the best matches in WCW history, and really one of the best matches in both guys' careers. So yeah, I mean, crowd was freaking stupid for this match, but yeah, this match was an absolute classic, and those bikers just don't know anything. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this was just a world-class match. I mean, if you haven't seen this match before, check it out. It is absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, I give that match 4.5 stars. Yeah. But yeah, if you thought the crowd was freaking stupid for how they were acting in that match, the next match just shows how freaking bad the crowd was. Next up, then we had the WCW Tag Team titles on the line with Harlem Heat defending against the Steiner brothers, and the crowd was freaking. This just shows how freaking stupid and terrible these bikers were as a crowd for the show. Because yeah, the crowd was just really booing Harlem Heat, and it really just came down to just because of their race. I mean, you just had a bunch of racist morons in the crowd, and they were just booing and heckling Harlem Heat just because they were black. I mean, I freaking hate racism. And yeah, and just yeah, this just pisses me off when people become so stupid like this to just boo people because of their race. Just this is just something I cannot freaking stand. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this was another factor where the crowd really was just so freaking bad, and really just because of how bad the crowd was just heckling Harlem Heat. This is just kind of did really take away from this match, because I just really could not look past how freaking bad the crowd was for this just because they were racist. Yeah. I mean, whenever the Steiners did go on offense, the crowd really did cheer for that. Yeah, and then of course whenever Harlem Heat did get on offense, the crowd booed. Yeah, so yeah, freaking stupid crowd. Yeah, but the match itself, the quality of this match itself was overall solid. I mean, it was kind of overly long, but yeah, the quality of the match itself, apart from the terrible racist crowd, I thought it was solid enough. I mean, it was just back and forth action between both teams. Yeah, it did just kind of go back and forth, and then it did kind of have a little bit of a strange ending where Rick Steiner and Stevie Ray were fighting on the outside of the ring, and then you had Sherry and Colonel Robert Parker, who were in Harlem Heat's corner. They ended up trying to throw some sort of powder in Scott Steiner's eyes, but Scott Steiner ducked, and the powder got in Booker T's eyes, and then they just threw the powder again, and then got Scott Steiner, and then Colonel Parker then just broke his cane over Scott Steiner's head, and then that allowed Booker T to pin Scott Steiner and get the win. So yeah, Harlem Heat ended up retaining the titles. So yeah, kind of a little bit of a weird finish right there, and yeah, the crowd was freaking dumb. The crowd really did take away from this match, but I mean, the quality of the match itself, it was solid enough, but yeah, like I said, just the crowd's racist stupidity just really took away from it. So yeah, but yeah, the match was solid enough, so I would give that probably a 2 3/4. I mean, I could have given it at least 3 stars, but yeah, due to just how bad the crowd was, that really just is preventing it from going at least 3 stars. So yeah, but yeah, the quality was decent enough. So yeah, 2 3/4. And then next up, then we had the United States Championship on the line with Ric Flair defending against Eddie Guerrero. So, yeah. So, King of the Ring 2002 was not the first time that Ric Flair and Eddie Guerrero faced each other. And even that match seems to be, like, forgotten by people because I've, like, heard some people saying that one of their biggest fantasy matches is Ric Flair versus Eddie Guerrero. But, yeah, it has happened before. It happened here. It happened at King of the Ring 2002. And it may have happened at some other points as well. So, yeah, so people really need to, like, do better research to really see that, like, some matches that they think are fantasy matches have actually happened before. So yeah, but yeah, this was another like really good match right here. Yeah, so yeah, and yeah, I mean this really did like really do a lot for Eddie Guerrero. Like Eddie Guerrero was still like a relatively young newcomer at the time in the WCW. Yeah, and Ric Flair with being like the veteran that he was, it was interesting to kind of like see like the two of them really like go up against each other at this time. And yeah, they really did like have a really really good match here. I mean, both guys were yeah, they weren't in their prime at this point. Like Ric Flair like was kind of like a little like was kind of like getting past his prime, and Eddie Guerrero wasn't really like didn't really reach his prime at this point. Yeah, so I found that kind of interesting to kind of like see like two different generation and guys like that like this like really like have a match together like this. But yeah, it really did work because yeah, they really did like have a really good match with each other here. I mean, I think that this was definitely like better than the match they had at King of the Ring 2002. Yeah, this was pretty good. Like throughout the match, like you had Eddie Guerrero just like using like like Ric Flair's tactics throughout the match. Heck yeah, and then yeah, you have like a Ric Flair also doing his thing. Like yeah, this match was kind of like going back and forth. Like at one point, you actually did have Eddie Guerrero getting a Ric Flair into the figure four, or yeah, yeah, then also like at one point in the match, like Eddie Guerrero ended up like giving Ric Flair the thumb to the eye. So yeah, Eddie Guerrero was really just like using a bunch of Ric Flair style tactics throughout the match. Yeah, but then at one point in the match, then like Eddie Guerrero ended up hurting his knee in the match, and then yeah, that's when like Ric Flair then was starting to target Eddie Guerrero's knee throughout the match. Yeah, and there was another nice spot in the match where like Eddie Guerrero like had a hold of Ric Flair's arm, and then Eddie Guerrero like was going like on to the top of the ropes, and then he just like jumped onto Ric Flair, and then just did a Hurricane Rana onto Ric Flair, or to go for a pin attempt, but of course like Ric Flair ended up surviving that. Yeah. And then yeah, this match just like did like continue to like go on back and forth between the two of them. Yeah, and then eventually, then Ric Flair then ended up taking advantage of Eddie Guerrero's a bad knee, and then yeah, he got the figure four onto Eddie Guerrero, and then yeah, you once again like had a Miss Elizabeth and Woman in a Ric Flair's corner for the match, and then yeah, then like Woman was like holding on to Ric Flair's arms like through the ropes to give Ric Flair like more leverage on Eddie Guerrero, and then yeah, Eddie Guerrero was just like so hurt, he was just like holding himself down, just like lying down, like grasping his head, and then yeah, then the referee then just ended up counting Eddie Guerrero's shoulders down for the three. So yeah, so Ric Flair ended up getting the win and retaining the U.S. title. So yeah, this match was just like really really good as well. I mean, not as good as like the Benoit Malenko match or the Cruiserweight title match, but yeah, still a really, really good to great match. I mean, yeah, I should say this was definitely like the third best match of the night. So, yeah, so really, really awesome match right here, and I would really recommend it if you haven't seen it before. Like, yeah, especially like if like Ric Flair versus Eddie Guerrero, if you say that is like one of your biggest fantasy matches, it has happened before, and you should check this match out because yeah, it is like really, really good. So yeah. So I would give that like a 3 3/4. Yeah. All right. And then next up, then after this is when we get to see the NWO in action. Next up, then we had the Outsiders, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall versus Lex Luger and Sting. And this match was decent enough. I mean, it wasn't really like all that great, but it was still like decent enough. I mean, it was just kind of like just a standard back and forth tag team action between the two teams. Yeah, Sting then eventually ended up getting like tagged in the match, and yeah, Sting was legal for quite a while in the match. Like, you just had Kevin Nash and Scott Hall just continuing to like team up just to beat down Sting. And yeah, but Sting eventually was able to battle back, and then yeah, then eventually Lex Luger ended up getting tagged back in, and then yeah, Lex Luger then like fought off Hall and Nash, and then yeah, then while uh, Lex Luger and Scott Hall were fighting in the ring, yeah, they were the two legal guys in the match. Then Kevin Nash and Sting then ended up fighting on like the outside of the ring. And then yeah, this finish is like one of the drawbacks of the match, because yeah, this finish was just stuck, and this finish just really was just like didn't make sense. I mean, this was just like the ending to the Madusa Bull Nakano match. Like, this ending was just like really confusing. Yeah. So what happened is Lex Luger tried to get Scott Hall in the torture rack, but I guess like as like Scott Hall was being loaded up, like he ended up like nailing Nick Patrick, who was the referee for this match, in the eye. Yeah, and then like as Nick Patrick was like holding onto his eye, he then just ended up like falling down, and yeah, he like hit Lex Luger in the back of the leg, and then that made like Lex Luger trip, and then yeah, then that then just allowed uh then Scott Hall to cover Lex Luger, and then yeah, then Nick Patrick, he then like made kind of like a quick count, and so yeah, then Scott Hall will end up getting the pin. So yeah, the Outsiders ended up winning the match. But yeah, this ending was just like so freaking confusing, and it didn't make sense. So yeah, plus yeah, because yeah, for one thing, like I mean, how does Nick Patrick? How is him just like falling down and like just hitting Lex Luger in the back of the leg enough to knock Lex Luger down, when Lex Luger was like the total package? He was like almighty and powerful, and a referee is able to knock him down. Yeah, and plus, yeah, it just looked really lame the way that Nick Patrick just ended up falling and just hitting Lex Luger. Like, you can kind of like see that, like, he's like setting up to hit Lex Luger before he actually falls down and hits him. So yeah, plus yeah, and why did Nick Patrick really make a quick count? Like, I know that like eventually, like later on, like Nick Patrick would like become like a referee for the NWO, but yeah, this was something like during that time yet. So yeah, this was just like so freaking confusing, and it didn't make sense at all. Like, how Nick Patrick was able to knock down Lex Luger, and why he made that quick count. Like who thought of this? Like, is Nick Patrick just stupid? So yeah. So yeah, that finish like really did suck and was really confusing. But the match overall, like the match itself, I thought was like decent enough, with some solid enough back and forth action between the two teams. So yeah. So despite that stupid, confusing ending, yeah, I would give this match probably around like 2.5 stars as well. So yeah. And then we got the main event, the WCW Championship on the line, the Giant defending against Hollywood Hulk Hogan. So, yeah, this match really does get a lot of hate, saying that this match really like wasn't good and it sucked. And yeah, it really was a pretty bad and boring. Yeah, I mean, this was of course like Hulk Hogan's first pay-per-view as like Hollywood Hogan, like part of the NWO, as I said before. So yeah, so I really don't know like what people really were like expecting to really like to see from Hulk Hogan now that his character was like different. Yeah, but yeah, well, really like, of course, like before the match, like you had Michael Buffer like announcing the match him doing the like introductions. But why was Michael Buffer talking as if like it was the beginning of the show? Like, he was like saying "Welcome to Hog Wild" and all this other stuff, as if like this was the start of the show. This is the freaking main event. So yeah, so I don't know why Michael Buffer was talking like that. Yeah, but yeah, this match Yeah, it really was not good. I mean, yeah, the match really, the first several minutes of the match were like very, very slow. You just had like Hogan really just like kind of like being the coward, just kind of constantly like running away from the Giant and stuff. Like whenever like it seemed like he was gonna like go at it with the Giant, he would always just like back off and stuff. So yeah, the match really did like start off pretty boring with like just for the first several minutes you just constantly had like Hogan just like running away from the Giant and really not getting any in ring action at all. Yeah, but then yeah, eventually like the match then did start to pick up where you did like have them actually like going at with each other. Like of course like you had the Giant overpowering Hogan, but then yeah, Hogan then eventually then like was able to overpower the Giant, and then yeah, then you just had like the Giant, aka the Big Show. Yeah, he was like he was just like throwing Hogan around and just like constantly overpowering him. Yeah, and then when Hogan then started to get the upper hand on the Giant, then I thought it was kind of funny that the Giant then was like starting to hulk up on Hogan. And yeah, and then yeah, the Giant then was just like doing the hulking up, just like yeah, and then yeah, then he did what Hogan does, and then yeah, he gave like the three punches, and then the big boot to Hulk Hogan. Yeah, and then he was setting Hogan up for the choke slam, but then yeah, then the outsiders then interfered and got involved in the match. But then yeah, and then the Giant, like he took out Scott Hall, and then yeah, then uh Kevin Nash then like tried to hit the Giant with a Jimmy Hart's megaphone. Yeah, Jimmy Hart was managing the Giant at the time. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, the Giant well, yeah, the Giant then was able to take out Kevin Nash as well. But then, yeah, as the Giant was like fighting off the outsiders, then Hulk Hogan then was able to nail the Giant with the WCW title belt, and then yeah, that ended up like knocking the Giant out, and then that allowed Hogan to pin the Giant and get the win, and yeah, then Hollywood Hogan ended up winning the WCW World Title. So yeah, so so I'm sure like this is what everybody does agree like had to happen with like now with Hollywood Hogan and in full swing now, but winning the WCW World title to really like get like his heel turn in the NWO off to a real strong start with him like immediately winning the title like this. Yeah, and then of course then like in the post match celebration, you can like as Hogan was celebrating his win with the Outsiders, then you had the Booty Man, aka Brutus the Barber Beefcake, coming down to the ring, and he was wearing an NWO shirt, and then yeah, he was like bringing a birthday cake down to the ring because of course like it was like Hulk Hogan's birthday. Hey, at this time, yeah, I think like Hulk Hogan's birthday was on the following day after the show. Yeah, but yeah, Brutus, his beefcake or the booty man or the butcher, whatever you want to call him. Yeah, he came down to the ring with a birthday cake and also a gift for Hogan. And as he was celebrating Hogan's win with him, and as like Hogan was like seemed to embrace beefcake, and yeah, then he just ended up like turning on him, and then then Hogan Hall and Aston just like beat down Beefcake and then just like threw him down to the outside of the ring, and it showed that the birthday gift was a can of spray paint, and then of course we had the historic moment with Hogan like spraying the NWO on the world title for the very first time. So yeah, and of course like this would like become a signature thing for like Hogan and the NWO. Like whenever like they would get a hold of the WCW World Title, they would spray paint an NWO on it whenever like Hogan or someone else ended up winning the title. So yeah, but yeah, of course, like yeah, this was like the first time that it happened. Yeah, but yeah, what was up with the Giant here? Like after like Hogan like ended up like nailing him with the title belt, he just like laid motionless in the ring, like for like from that point on, and like throughout Hogan's like post match celebration and stuff. So yeah, I mean he was just like hit in the head with the title belt. I mean, why was he acting like he was dead? I mean that shouldn't be enough. I mean, wouldn't you think that he would like eventually like ended up end up like start to come around and get back up and go after Hogan in the NWO. So yeah, what was up with that? Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, the match overall, like it's still just the match really just wasn't good. I mean, just it was way too slow and just not really just it just really was not like any like a classic or anything. I mean, it wasn't even good. Like it was just like way too slow. So yeah, so I would probably give that like a star and a half. Yeah. So overall with the show, I would probably give it. Oh man, I guess I would give it probably like around a 7.5 or a 7.75 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, it's really I'm really not sure what I would give it because I mean, it does have like some good stuff like of course like the Cruiserweight title and the Benoit Malenko match and the US title match. Yeah, three really good to great matches on the show. Oh, and even like the tag title match and the other tag match, I mean, they're like decent enough, I guess. I mean, so yeah. So overall, I mean, of course there is some like crap on the show with like the second and third matches in the main event, and plus, the crowd really does take away from it. It as well. I mean, the crowd's just like really bad and stuff, and plus, it does get annoying hearing like them revving up their bikes throughout the show, and just like seeing them like constantly like being like stupid throughout the show. So that can get kind of annoying. But if you can get past like how stupid the bikers do act during the show, like if you can get past that and really just like concentrate on the matches themselves, I think that you will get enough of enjoyment out of this to really like say that you like the show overall. I mean, like I said, it's not perfect, but I mean, with three really good to great matches on the show, I really do think that is really like enough to really call it a good show. And even like with the two other decent enough matches, I do think that it is enough to really recommend the show as a whole. And plus, with the historic moment with like Hulk Hogan spray painting the NWO on the title belt for the first time, so it is famous for that too. So so I'm really not too sure really if I can really like recommend it to everybody. Like some people may get really annoyed with the bikers and stuff, but you may, but you could like just watch the show muted and stuff. But like I said, if you can get past all that stuff and just focus on the matches, then I think you'll get enough enjoyment out of it. So so all I can say is just check it out and just decide if you can really put up with the bikers or not. It really just does come down to if you can put up with the bikers, whether you'll be able to watch the show or not. So just at least try to check it out and just see if you can put up with it and just make your own judgment for it. All right. So I guess that's all I really have to say about it. So this is it from my review of Hog Wild 1996. So I hope you guys did enjoy this review. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.